You wake up to a sound that doesn't belong. It's not shouting, it's not thunder. It's the church bell, ringing fast, uneven, wrong. At first you think it's a mistake. Bells ring for prayer, for celebration, for routine. But this sound carries panic. You step outside, and before you can ask what's happening, someone runs past you without speaking, eyes wide, breath broken, pointing toward the sea. You turn. Out of the fog, long, dark shapes move across the water. They are low, silent, fast. You don't know the word Viking, but your body understands danger before your mind does. These are not traders. They don't carry flags. They don't slow down. The sea that fed your village is bringing something else today. Only hours ago, life was ordinary. Nets were laid out to dry. Bread was being baked. Children chased each other between wooden huts. You planned nothing beyond the day ahead, because life here never demanded more than that. Wars belonged to kings. Violence belonged to soldiers. A village belonged to routine. Now that illusion collapses. The ships reach the shore with frightening ease. They don't struggle against waves. They don't hesitate. They slide onto land as if they were meant to be here. Men jump out, already moving, already scanning, already knowing exactly what they want. There is no announcement, no warning, no chance to prepare. People react differently. Some run immediately. Some freeze, unable to accept that this is real. A few try to gather belongings, as if objects still matter. Mothers grab children without words. Elderly men look around in disbelief, as though waiting for someone else to take control. But no one does. There are no soldiers here. There's no walls, no horns to call help. The nearest lord is days away, and even if he knew, he wouldn't arrive in time. This village was never meant to defend itself. The attackers move with purpose. Not wild, not chaotic. They split, searching homes, storehouses, the church. They know where value hides. They know what can be carried and what can be ignored. To you, it feels like the world is breaking apart. But to them, this is practiced. The most terrifying thing isn't the noise, it's the speed. Before fear can fully settle, the village is already overwhelmed. Paths you've walked all your life suddenly feel too narrow. Familiar places offer no safety. Every direction looks wrong. People run toward the fields, toward the forest. Anywhere that isn't here, you run to. Behind you, there is shouting in a language you don't understand. Heavy footsteps. The sound of wood breaking. Somewhere, smoke begins to rise, and the smell reaches you before the flames are visible. You don't look back at first. Looking back feels dangerous, like it might slow you down. But then you hear it closer than it should be. A sharp breath, a footstep that doesn't belong to anyone you know. You glance over your shoulder, but you see burns itself into memory. A man larger than anyone in your village, hair tangled, face unreadable. In his hands, an axe bigger than any tool you've ever used. He doesn't rush. He doesn't shout. He moves forward with calm certainty, as if fear belongs only to those running. You understand something then? This isn't a battle. It's a collapse. People stumble. Someone falls. Someone drops a child and turns back without thinking. Screams tear through the air, but they don't change anything. Panic spreads faster than fire, faster than feet can carry it. The attackers don't chase everyone. They don't need to. Fear is already doing the work for them. Some villagers hide. Under floors, in the forest, in the church. Others run until their lungs burn and their legs fail, not knowing where they're going, only knowing they must leave this place behind. And then, almost as suddenly as it began, it slows. Not because mercy arrived, but because the goal has been reached. Goods are taken, food is gathered, people are bound, the ships wait. The attackers don't stay. They never planned to. This place was never meant to be ruled, only emptied, frightened, remembered. You watch from wherever you've hidden as they return to the shore. They carry what they want, and they leave what they don't. Smoke climbs into the sky behind them, marking the village like a signal. The ships push back into the water, and they are gone. No final words. No explanation, just silence. When you return, the village doesn't feel like home anymore. Some houses still stand, some don't. Familiar paths are covered in ash. Objects lie where they were dropped, frozen in the moment people realized survival mattered more than possessions. You count who is missing, you count who is hurt, You don't count what was taken, because it doesn't matter. The worst part comes later. Night falls, and no one sleeps. Every sound feels like a return. Every shadow feels wrong. People speak in whispers, not because they are told to, but because loudness feels unsafe now. In the days that follow, life resumes, but smaller, quieter, changed. Boats are watched. Children are warned. The sea is no longer just water. Stories spread faster than ships ever could. Neighboring villages hear what happened here and imagine it happening to them. Some abandon the coast. Some hide wealth. Some surrender without resistance the next time sails appear. That is how fear becomes a weapon. The attackers don't need to return to every village. The memory does the work for them. Years later, historians will record raids, dates, locations, numbers, but they won't record the moment you realized no one was coming to help. They won't record how your hands shook when the bell rang. They won't record how safety vanished in a single morning. For the people who lived through it, this wasn't history. It was the day the world stopped being predictable. And long after the ships disappeared beyond the horizon, that feeling never truly left.